how to roleplay Elden Ring edition. Now, Elden Ring is one of those games where it's a little harder to roleplay in because, again, the storytelling is given to you in a very vague way, and so is the lore. On a first playthrough, bro, almost the only way to roleplay a character would be an amnesiac. Your character is not from here. They don't know what's going on. They know just as much as you know. So you're better off just kind of playing it that way and trying to do everything and trying to unlock everything. Because me, I like to play as spellcasters, and when I first played through it, I thought Raya Lucaria, the big wizard academy, would be where I would get most of my spells from. So I thought searching that up and down would give me most of the sorcery spells. That is not true. Which is why I say I don't like the way that they tell stories, and I don't like the way their open world is handled. But that's a story for another time. First thing you want to do is you want to come up with a theme, right? When I say theme, I mean you want to think of how the character looks, how they act, and why they exist in this world. With the paladin build, I was going for something like the Erd Tree once had a loyal knight, and now that the world is in disarray, they've called back this loyal knight, which is this character right here. So you see the aesthetic is kind of going for fallen knight, the knight in shining armor. I got the circlet, the gold circlet on, and we're going to go with basically all holy weapons. So you got the sacred relic great sword that has that cool move where it slashes across the ground, and there's this big wave of holy magic that comes out. I haven't put the Golden Order Greatsword on them, but I haven't upgraded that yet. So I'm in New Game Plus 7, so like playing through the game with that is going to be a little hard. And that's another thing. Because I'm in New Game Plus, I have so much shit unlocked that like it gets boring because I can use basically anything in any situation that'll benefit me. Like I always have something that is the weakness of an enemy. So what I like to do, so the reason I do these builds is because I force myself into playing one way through my entire New Game Plus, and that kind of makes it a little bit more interesting. Even this Cypher Potted, the little holy wrist blades too, is another thing you could put on there. For Spirit Ashes, I use any of the banished knights. If you read their descriptions, all of them say that they qualify for Erd Tree burial, so that kind of fits. We could almost say that we were like the leader of this group, and now we're bringing them back to help us, repair the Golden Order. And that is going to have me move into the next thing where we talk about why your character exists in this world. I've already decided he's a paladin. It was called back by the Erd Tree because he was once a loyal servant. Now, this is where we decide how our character feels about this. Is our character still loyal to the Golden Order and he's happy to take up his duties and restore it? Or resentful of the Golden Order for removing his grace? Because remember, Tarnish lost Grace of Gold at one point. These two paths can change how we play through the game. If you're loyal to the Golden Order, you're going to do the Gold Mask Dude side quest and restore the Golden Order ending. If you're not, that opens up freedom to basically make your own decisions for the rest of the game, which I would recommend the latter half, and you can kind of make your character's decisions up as they go. Because another thing with that is like, don't be afraid to let your character change. Like, don't change him so much as to where, okay, he's a paladin, but I found this cool katana, so now he's a samurai. Don't do too much of that, you know what I mean? What I would say is, though, just because your character is a paladin who's loyal to the Golden Order, that don't mean that like at some point during your playthrough, maybe you find an item that shows something about the Golden Order that your character doesn't like. Maybe he changes his mind. Maybe now he resents the Golden Order halfway through, and he feels so resentful that he then becomes the Lord of Frenzied Flame. Something as simple as that, bro, is the core of roleplay, bro. I've decided my paladin is loyal to the Golden Order, and he's going to oppose all other schools of magic. So I have him raiding Raya Lucaria to basically destroy these blasphemers who don't believe in the magic of the Erd Tree. They want to believe in the magic of the stars. Something as simple as that is like, it gives so much more purpose to your playthroughs, because you can play through the game and not go to Raya Lucaria at all. You know what I'm saying? You just wander the world and just go from place to place. You kind of get more bored with it quicker than if you actually give your character some purpose within the story. Because FromSoft has already done the hard part. And that's with any game. With any RPG, they've done the hard part of making the background. All you have to do is make your character and make a reason for why your character will be playing through this story. And I almost always make a character who has a reason to do the main quest. I know a lot of people who play Skyrim and Oblivion don't. Some people like will only play a character who lives in a certain faction or does certain things, which is cool, but like I like to have some purpose. Like I need an ending. Every good story needs an ending. So I always make a character that has a reason to finish the main quest. So this character is going to destroy Raya Lucaria. Anybody else who practices any type of magic that isn't, holy magic of the Erd Tree, and then he's going to restore the Elden Ring after doing Gold Mask quest. And because I'm in New Game Plus 7, bro, a lot of my time is spent helping other players. So I always take my builds online and help people fight bosses. because I beat the game so much that like it's kind of hard for me to want to keep playing through all the way to the end. Really, me making these build videos is an excuse for me to take them online and help other players as well. That's really what I do now. I kind of just role play a Tarnished who's, you know, fixed the Elden Ring in his world, and now he assists other Tarnished. That's basically my character now, and I just use different builds online when I make these videos. But let me know, man, if you ever want me somebody to help you out in the boss, man. Hardhat Doggo, I'm on PlayStation 5. The most important thing when you do these roleplay runs in any video game is to make something that's fun to you. If you know that you like playing as a spellcaster, don't make a barbarian who only uses colossal weapons and doesn't like magic. You get what I'm saying? Take into your own personal fun into account as well, because I did this with Skyrim, bro. I remember I said I was going to play a orc barbarian like brute. He just was like a maniac. He just loved battle. He would attack innocent people in innocent towns, go from town to town, attack every NPC to the point where he barely even did quests. And then, you know, it got boring for me too, because it was like, I don't like playing like this. You get what I'm saying? So what I ended up doing, because I like using spells, I ended up making a high elf who is against the Thalmor and is trying to lay low from them. He escaped them, trying to lay low, and that's the reason he was on the card, is they've been sticking for somebody who was with the Thalmor. Always put your fun above the roleplay. You know what I'm saying? But when you're building your character, take into account what do you think is fun. Which is another reason I don't like the way Elden Ring story is told, because I feel like it's harder to do that on a first playthrough. You know what I'm saying? When your first playthrough, it's hard to figure out where the stuff you need to even make your build fun is going to be. Or even there's some things that would be good for your build that are locked behind quests that your character might not do. You know what I'm saying? Those are my issues with it. But like once you get past that, you do New Game Plus 2 and you've unlocked everything you want to unlock and go into New Game Plus 3, then you can really just run through the game as a roleplay themed character. I'm gonna do some other games. Comment below what other games you want me to do a roleplay guide on. Your boy Hardhat Doggo, and I'm out. Peace.